welcome to Godsfault. Yeah,
Thank
let's
you.
go, baby. What's up? What's up? Yo, check this out, man. Welcome to Godsfault. I got a very,
Yes.
very special guest with me today. This woman has a big piece of my heart. Michelle Oliver, my cousin, cuzzo. Love
Thank
her
you.
to death. We done came up together from diapers. You understand what I'm
I'm trying
saying?
to tell you, running in
When
the
we talking
woods,
day,
jumping over fences.
everybody be like, yeah, they like day one this, day nah, man. We had the diapers. Y'all know that we learned how to walk around it. You know what I'm saying? We go back
Yeah.
that far. Yeah,
Yeah.
what's up,
Yeah.
cuz? How you feeling?
I'm great. I'm doing good. I can't
That's what I'm
complain.
talking about. That's what I'm
Yeah, it was
talking
good to
about,
see
man.
you.
Yes, you know what? You know what's crazy because we talk on the phone all the time with Tony and everything, but
Yep.
isn't it just dope that technology's at a point where we could just pick up a camera and talk to each other
And see
live
each
and
other
actually
in
see
live
each
action.
other? You know what I'm saying? That's dope. I think that's
Yeah,
amazing. You know what I'm saying? I remember when my
absolutely.
daughter, my youngest Precious, was all into this, like showing me FaceTime and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like, who want to talk on the phone
I
and look
wasn't
at
even
people?
into it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why do I need to see your face to talk like on a phone? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Whatever years later, here I am,
here you are.
podcasting and doing all this stuff. So, you know
Oh,
what I'm saying? You never
excellent.
That's the one thing about life. You
Hmm.
never know where it's gonna lead you. You know what I'm
You
saying? I
don't.
remember I would say like, "Oh, I ain't never gonna do this," or "I ain't never gonna do that." You
Yeah.
don't know until
Yeah, you don't. You don't.
like my grandfather used to say. He said, "You gonna learn when the rubber meet the road." That's what he said.
I've never heard of that one,
Mhm.
but thanks.
Oh yeah, he coined that. He used to tell me that about everything. I guess I was a really. I don't feel like I was a bad kid, but I got in trouble all the
All the
time, bro.
time.
All the time for everything, man. He said, "You gonna learn, boy, when the rubber meet the road." Like, what are you talking
What
about?
is that?
What are you saying to me, man? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
The rubber meet the road. I'm like, what, driving? When I'm driving, I'm gonna learn? Like, I don't know.
So as you
Nah.
develop, what does it
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Nah, shout out
Yeah.
to my grandfather, man.
Yeah.
Marshall, man. OG,
Yeah.
man. That's my
As
guy,
like
man. He
my
was just
grandpa, like, his last quotes to me was like, life is what you make it, you know,
life is what you make it. That's right.
and
That's
you gotta
right.
let go of some things in order to get where you want to go.
That's
So
right.
that was one of his last deep talks.
Yo, I got that fly picture with him. Listen, I got a
Yes,
fly picture. Me
it
suited
was.
and
I
booted.
see it.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
joint. Yeah, I got a fly picture with him. So I love that. I love that. Nah, that's dope. So you know what? Let me do this because this your first time on
Yes.
a podcast at all. This is your first
Yes.
podcast. All right, well, let's do this. Why don't you introduce yourself to the people? Let them know
Okay.
what you currently got going on right now.
Okay.
What you got? What's in the mix right now for
Right.
Michelle Oliver?
Right. Well, as you guys already know, my name is Michelle Oliver, and right now I have written a book last year, at the end of last year, and it's dealing with transformation, healing process, just being able to let go and release, and just starting something new, something that I always wanted to do many, many years ago. But
Mm,
like my cousin said earlier, we're like, "Oh, I don't know if I should do that," or, just second guessing myself, or not listening, to my
yeah.
inner
Mm-hmm.
self, being hard headed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I decided to
'Cause
take a leap and, just put my words down on paper. I do, speak to other people in passing, but I think it was time for me to actually like put it down on paper and just get it out there. And maybe I can
okay.
help
And what is this
others.
work? Wait, what is this work called? Did
Well,
you tell them?
now I'm going into like spiritual life coaching.
Okay.
Um
Okay.
yeah, I'm
But I
going
mean,
into
the book
spiritual.
that you wrote. What's the name of the
The
book?
book that I wrote is called Grace Shifted by Grace. So that's the
Okay.
one that you can find on Amazon. Yep. So I
So
wrote
you talking
that one.
about
You got my
this?
book?
You talking about this book right here?
Yes.
this book right here, you already know, man. We don't talk about it. We be about it around here. We don't play
Right
around.
now.
Yeah. I already started. Look, I was already in there. I was like, wait a minute. I don't see Uncle Clem and Uncle Peachy name in there. Then I seen the dedication. I'm no, okay, okay. Make sure she
Yeah.
represents. Okay.
Well, I didn't want to like put people's, put their names out there too much. I just wanted to keep it neutral. But I think
Nah,
moving
that's dope.
forward,
Nah,
possibility of me
I
putting it a
think,
little bit.
listen,
Yeah.
it's so dope. It's so dope. I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
something. Like people don't think about it, and I know a lot of times when you're entrepreneur and you're doing anything outside the normal 9 to 5 grind,
Yeah.
you know, we always look or we appreciate the support from the people who say they love us. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Yeah.
appreciate it. A like, a click, a sub, a purchase. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
We put so much effort and work into what we do, we expect
Mhm.
at least the people who say they love us to be
Right.
interested in
To
it.
be
But
interested. Yeah.
I tell you what, though, I learned over the
Uh-huh.
years. It's not that they don't care or they don't love you, but
Right.
you got to remember whatever you're creating is for those who need it. So it's not so much that they're responding and they're, whatever. If it's not
Mhm.
there in their lane, it's not in their lane. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
you never, how they said about, Yeshua, a prophet's
Mhm.
not a prophet in his hometown. You did? So
Mhm.
everybody know who they're too familiar with you, so you can't really
Right.
blow up where you from like people try to play they do. They really don't. People who blow up, they from there, but they get hot because the world heard them, not because the place there really held them down like that. Maybe a few, but not a lot. You know what I'm
But
saying?
not a lot. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
So
Yeah.
so I like where you're going with this though. So you wrote the
Mhm.
Shifted by Grace, but then you started saying you're doing some training for another path. So what are you
Yeah.
endeavoring on? What is it that you're doing here?
Right now, I'm doing training on counseling. It's like caring counseling, dealing with single individuals as well as families. So I'm getting skills and training and tools to
Nice.
help the community and also deal with Christianity, or the spiritual life per se, because some people don't really, gravitate to religion, but they will gravitate to the spirit of God. So it's just like a mixture.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, yeah, yeah. No, I like it. I like it because I think it's very important at the end of the day. When I think, well, just from my own personal experience and everything, because I'm not a big church guy, like going to church and all that, because of so much that I understand. So, and because of these things, I rather not. I still can go, but it's just
Right.
not my forefront. But every
Right.
day for me, coming from where we came from and how we grew
Mhm.
up and the things we went through, for
Mhm.
me, I trust God every day. I can't play with this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Right.
don't need somebody up there. Like, and that's another thing because I'm serious. I'll go to church or I'll throw on a live stream or something, somebody's service, and I'm listening.
Yeah.
And their sermons are always talking about the same stuff. And I'm just like, how people sitting in this building for 20 years and they still don't know the basics of, you know what I mean? I'm not
Of
hearing
what
like, you know what I
God
mean?
expects. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like still trying to get people to behave a certain way.
Of
And
behavior.
and it's
Right.
kind of it's like wild to me. It's like you're an adult, you make your choices. You know what I mean? Like
You're
you
right.
at this point, if you don't know right from wrong for
Right
you,
from wrong.
you need something else because
Something
this
else.
this ain't this ain't getting you where you need
Right.
to
This
get
thing called
to.
life is not that
Yeah,
complicated.
this is not like I don't
Yeah.
understand that portion of it. Like, and I don't understand like people who say they have faith, but then they're scared of everything. That
Yeah.
blows my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so many like if you're gonna read the word and you're gonna believe the word, then believe it. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
if my kid, one of my oldest daughter, she'll come to me. I'm like, I thought you said you believe God. Why are you telling me all this stuff? Like, why are you? What are you worried about? You know
Because
what I mean?
I believe it's the simple fact of, like, learning to separate the 2. We're human, right? And he doesn't expect us to be perfect. So we're still operating chemically, scientifically as a human. But then when you tap into your soul and you go beyond the flesh, the moral concept, the upbringing, all of that, then that's when you start to develop more of the trust, more of the understanding, not yours, but spirit's understanding for you. So I think that's where we get, you know, that bundle of like, I'm not sure.
Right.
You sure I should do that? Like, how would you think about it? Or you questioning yourself, boy, is this right? Nah.
Yeah.
So
Look, I go by a rule of thumb. If you have to ask if something right, it ain't right
right. Then you already know it ain't
for you, because you're asking for you. You know what I mean?
right for you.
For you, because if you have to ask, you
Right.
nah, let it go. Just leave it
Let
alone.
it
Whatever you was about to do, don't even make that move. Just
don't
fall
even
back,
do
do something else. Don't even play
yeah,
with that. Just
yeah.
go. That's funny. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So that's my only reason. But so I like how you frame that though, because of people's resignation with
Mhm,
religion,
mm,
and I think is a valid point.
yeah.
Like, you seen the new Drewski skit? Have you
I
seen
don't
that
think
skit?
so. No, you should play it for
I don't know
well, just give me
if I
a
could get
little
by it.
yeah.
And so basically, Drewski did
Mhm,
a parody of today's pastors, black pastors. And he took all real things that they did, he
mhm,
put it together,
mhm.
and then he did it in Drewski fashion. And it was one of the most hilarious yet
But eye opener.
opening things for so many people. It didn't shock me, you know what I mean? But
Okay.
when you see it though, you're gonna be like, "Ooh." I'm telling you right
Lord.
now. He hit him. And he was wearing the same jacket that Mike Todd had on in one of his pictures. He had the same suit as him, the same outfit, and then he flew. He was hanging in the air like that other guy who was on like one of them pastor shows or whatever they was doing
Right.
on BET.
Oh my
And
god.
listen, then he had the red bottoms on, talking about because he walked through the blood of Jesus. Yo, I was I was cooked. Like, yo, he went in. You heard? I'm telling you, he
No.
went in. And that's what, when I was younger, I really couldn't understand. I was like, yo, why don't,
Mhm.
my dad really want to go to church like that? Or just I just,
Right.
hear people talking stuff. And as
Mhm.
I got older, first of all, I seen it early because what I noticed, especially like with my grandfather, because he was like, he was deacon, he
Heavy.
was like, heavy,
Heavy
and
intro.
and we was in the South at the time, so
Uh-huh.
that's man, that holiness, all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
So, but I used to watch him. I lived with them because I had to go down south to live with them for a while,
Right.
and I'm living with him. I know how he treats me. I'm seeing how he treats my grandmother, right? We get to the church, go inside, and they have testimony service. This man is like, "Oh, my queen, my this, my that." I'm like, "Yo, wait, who is this guy?" I'm like, "Yo, who is him? Can he come back home with us? Because this ain't the guy that's at the crib with us. I know this ain't the guy." Man, listen, I won't even say in respect for my grandmother things I've seen right
Right.
immediately after church.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
But
So
it
it was,
goes
and
back to
that's,
what I said.
yeah,
It's the
yeah,
separation of the 2, like, and it's the process of development, and I think that, like, for us growing up in church, grandparents had me in church heavily, so, us yeah, so us growing back up in church, I think that in the religion of it all, I think a lot of it was based on tradition, your appearance, how you're supposed to be, all of this. But as we had developed as individuals and as adults and learned our way and the relationship with God that we have individually,
yeah,
I think it's a lot different now than,
yeah.
when we were going.
Nah, cause yeah, no, it's
It's
definitely
just
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's
Mhm.
I can see how all this information have evolved even in my lifetime. Like,
Yeah.
with the power of information being so
Mm.
accessible, and
Mhm.
people really, you really could really look into things, but a lot of people just don't have the desire, the willpower. They're comfortable being right where they
Where
at,
they're at. Yeah.
and they're good with that. But I like what you're doing because now you are looking to take your experiences and help people through counseling
Yes.
and guiding them, and you're saying that your credentials would allow
Mhm.
you to counsel them in both
Yeah.
areas, like naturally and in the spiritual sense of
Yes.
things.
Mhm.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
contend that everything, I think we have life backwards,
Mhm.
honestly. I
Mhm.
think everything is spiritual and then the natural comes after. And I think I can prove it with one statement. Everything that we see right now
Mhm.
started in somebody's mind with an invisible thought.
Yeah.
Everything, every device, every article of clothing,
Mhm.
glasses,
Mhm.
everything you see, everything
Everything.
with your eyes started in somebody's
Everything. A
mind in
recipe.
an
Yeah, a
invisible.
recipe to eat.
Yeah,
Like everything.
think about it.
Yeah.
Everything starts in the spiritual realm, in the mind, and I'm calling it a thought
Mhm.
spiritual because you can't tangibly grab it. It's invisible. You can't see a thought.
Can't see it. Yeah. So you
You know
put
what
it
I
on
mean? But
paper though. But
right,
you
right. Till
put it on
you,
paper.
yeah, and then when that's when you start making it
Right.
reality.
Reality. Yep.
That's when you start making it the reality, is when you start
Mhm.
putting it on paper and putting your hands to it and
Yep.
doing it. Just like if you kind of think of it, it's just like being like if when you're any kind of type of creator, even let's say you're
Mhm.
a carpenter or whatever,
Right.
you have to see it in your head before you make it.
True.
You have to envision what you're
Envision
doing.
the vision of it all.
You have
Mhm.
to.
Yeah.
And what the words say, my people perish for lack of knowledge, or the
Lack
people
of
for lack of
knowledge
vision.
and
You know what I mean?
vision.
They don't have any vision.
Yeah.
And the reason, and when you steal people's vision,
Mhm.
they don't know what they're looking for. They lost. That's how you lost, when you don't have a vision. You don't
When
have
you don't
anything
have
for, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
That's a good topic. That's a good conversation there because, like, I have interviewed several men, and I wanna say out of the 5 that I interviewed, maybe 3 of them didn't really have an idea of where their vision was going in the next 2 to 5 years. So for
Yeah.
me, sitting back and listening, it was just, like, scary. It was so scary for me
Say it again.
because
Say that.
I said
Repeat
it
that because
was
it broke up on me.
okay, I said it was a little scary for me to hear that they didn't have a vision, say, a 2-year plan or a year plan. And I think because, like, I'm on the opposite side, I'm a female, right?
Hmm.
So,
Right.
like, me looking at a man and listening, I'm looking to see, like, what is it that you desire to achieve or to accomplish in your personal growth, or, something to enhance you so that you're self-aware, self-motivated, like things that
Yeah.
women look for. So
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, so how do you explain that, or how do you help, what I'm saying, a person get just a little bit of an idea of a vision,
Mm.
without
Hmm.
per se
Good question.
attacking or making them feel vulnerable, you know?
I think if I'm in a position like that, the first thing I'm gonna say to them, when you was younger, what did you like? What did you want to
Right,
do?
right.
Because what I know happens to, because I know it happened to me. You're
Mm,
young, you're full of all kind of thoughts, ambitions, all this stuff, and then life
right.
reality hits, and you start, you know, surviving. You get into survival mode. Like when you're
Yeah.
young, you're in dream mode.
Mhm,
You're in the that's where your imagination is the highest. That's where
mhm,
but but instead of our imagination being cultivated,
mhm,
it's being stolen by entertainment. So because we can, we looking at cartoons, movies, this is, we get all this stuff, and we're not using our imagination. They're not getting out of us what it is we're good at. And then
mm,
they put you all in the classroom, try to teach you structure to get you ready for this this
Thing
life,
off.
the schedule, you know what I mean? Whether it be prison or a job or factory, you know what I'm saying? You
Right.
you you ready, you get prepared for that, and it steals your dream because now you don't have time to dream because now you're worried about surviving. You know
True.
what I mean? So
You put down the
that's kind of
hobby.
right,
It's
right. So
like
you
putting down the hobby in order to pick up an income
right,
to make sure the lights stay on and the food is in the
exactly, because
refrigerator and the roof over
mhm,
the head and the kids got activities and it
right.
goes on. Yeah.
Right, but see, that's not how life was designed for us.
Fine.
In a perfect world,
Mhm.
every child will have a group of parents who specialize in something.
Yeah.
Whether it be like back in the day, you have the herders, you had the farmers, the growers, you had the carpenters, you had the this, what the blacksmith, whatever your
Mhm.
family produced, that's your family business and ecosystem. So you know what I mean? And then your vision as you grow up as a child, you look to improve upon
To
that and you can
improve.
build out, you know what I mean? And whatever, whatever.
Mhm.
But the system that we're in doesn't cultivate any of that and doesn't allow any of that for the most part. So you got to respect, like, I respect like the athletes like LeBron and Carmelo Anthony, like their children.
Mhm.
I'm just naming them because those are the most recognizable names for most common people, right? But
Mhm.
because their children grew up in the family business of the sport they're in. Same with
Right.
football, you know what I mean? They grew up in it. So they know they're looking to be their number one goal. I'm gonna be better than my dad. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna do stuff that he
Mhm.
never did. That's their
Mhm.
motivation. But then they grew up with the love with it and they know the discipline because they watched their father be disciplined in it. And even if they didn't go to basketball, if their father was still in their life or whatever
Mhm.
they do, they will excel in because they learned what discipline look in regardless in that
Regardless.
area.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but this is not what. So a lot of these men that you're speaking to
Mhm.
got it. The first thing I'm gonna be like, hey,
Mhm.
what did you want to do when you was a kid? I would have told, hey, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. I'm tell you that right
Right.
now. I
Right.
wanted to be Top Gun, baby. I was like, do, 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 do. That's what I wanted to do.
That's
I
right.
wanted to drop bombs on. I wanted to be a star, either that or a flying spaceship. It was one of them. I wanted to
Mm.
fly something. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now it's so funny. And this is the
Mhm.
sad thing about it. Now your boy's scared of heights. Come on, man.
For real.
Look, I'm scared of heights. I get on a plane, and I'll get on a plane. I'm looking out the. I sit by the window. Like when I say I'm
Right.
scared of heights, I sit
Right.
by the window and everything, but my mind is just like,
It's like, "Okay, put me back down on the ground."
I'm like, yo, like especially on those long flights coast to coast. I'm like, yo, man, if this thing
But
drop,
you
we
do it
cook.
though. You
I
do
do
it
do it.
though.
I do it.
You do it.
I do it. But it's so funny to go from to think as a child I was
Mhm.
willing to fly, and now I'm on a like you want on a balcony. I'm like, ooh boy, hold on,
Let
wait.
me step back a little bit. Yeah.
But yet my youngest daughter, Precious, she jumping out of planes. What you gonna do?
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, she jumping out of
I
planes. That's what
always
she
wanted
do.
to do that. I just thought that I was, like, a little bit too older now, so I don't
Yeah.
know if I wanna take that.
No, oh, I'm gonna tell you something real. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you something real.
Yeah.
This lady, one of my coworkers, her name is Regina. She has a friend who is in her, if not 90 yet, almost 90.
Mm.
She takes this lady to go skydive once a year on her birthday.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so that means you don't have an
It's
excuse
never
anymore.
too late. It's
That's
never too
right.
late.
That's right. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So you
I'm
already,
gonna
yeah, yeah,
Imma
yeah,
do that. Imma do that.
yeah. Now I'm
Yeah.
not. Listen, I'm not pushing you to do that. I'm telling you because I'm not going. I promise you, I ain't going.
Imma
I'm
do a
good.
video and
Yeah, yeah. Listen, I celebrate you. You be all over my timeline. I'm like, look at Cuz, go ahead, girl. Yeah, I'm not
mhm,
doing it.
mhm.
I am so cool on that. I am.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god,
Absolutely.
that's what. Nah, that's dope though. That'd be dope. I would love to see that you
Yeah.
do that, man.
Yeah.
I think I took so many risks in my life already. I'm just thankful I'm still here. I used to treat my life like a gay, like a CeeLo. You know what I mean? Or like I'm just tossing my chances. Like, go ahead, go ahead. Oh, what about this? Let's try this.
Let's
Let's do
try
that.
this.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
I'm not adventurous like that anymore. I'm really
No, you
I
calm
done
that
calm
down.
down. Yeah, I'm solid on that, man. For real, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, now tell me, so
Mhm.
so when you're talking to them
Mhm.
and you're asking them and they're not really sure,
Right.
what does that do to you? Like, how does that make you feel about them? And as far as then from a woman's perspective, how does that make you feel about them personally? Like, do you fault them for that, or what do you think is going on there that they're like that?
What I'm thinking or what I know is, there's blocks. There's like, sometimes as men and women, but for the men, sometimes they block, you know what I'm saying, their creativity away. Like they put it away because now they have that responsibility to be the provider or to, keep that job or to be upstanding role model. So a lot of their creativities and hobbies sometimes gets pushed off, to the side.
Right.
And, and it comes, I want to say also from development of like your childhood, but then also as you develop into teenage and adolescent years and you make choices. You make these choices, you go through life, whether good or bad, but sometimes we forget ourselves. We
Yeah.
forget, you know what I'm saying, to take that step back and be like, where am I at in all of this?
Right.
Like, do I see
Right.
me?
Right.
And I think sometimes as
Yeah. No,
men,
that's good.
you guys kind of lose yourself in that it's like a robotic routine at some point.
Mm,
And so for me, one of the guys, I really had to like allow him to come out of this hard shell and you know what I'm saying, and really tap into being vulnerable to just communicate. And I mean in any way, whether it was a song, whether if it was writing, whether
mm.
it was just allowing him to inappropriately speak, but me as a person listening don't take it offensive, but just allow
Right.
him to be who he is in that present moment. Because it's not about me, it's about him
Right.
breaking free to figure out like where does he want himself to be at in the next year or in the next
Yeah.
6 months. And then we
Right.
just come up with a plan and we do our best to, keep on that plan and we check back every 3 months and say, hey, what's going
Right.
on? How you been? What steps have you been taking? Have you been stuck? And stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So are these individuals, are they like incarcerated, or is this something that they're looking for therapy or counseling or ideas? Like what
Right.
brings these men to
Well,
your
some of them are from work. Some of
okay.
them I met at work because I work in the construction industry, so it's nothing but men
Right, right.
there. So a lot of them I met through coworkers, and then one I met at school, and then
Nice.
some might even be family members that I might talk
Right,
to
right,
from
right.
time to time.
So
Yeah,
you're so actually you're getting um like people from different areas, but
areas of life.
you're finding the same common
Yeah,
situation with them, as far as, and they
situation
really don't have any goals moving forward. They're so locked into whatever they
locked
got going on,
into.
they can't see
Yeah,
past it. Yeah,
right.
yeah. And I think that's most people right now,
Mhm.
only because I a lot of people to me are looking for themselves in external things, and they don't really even know who they are.
They
You know what I
are.
mean?
Yeah,
And especially amongst our people, you know what I mean? We've
yeah.
been told who we are. We haven't looked
Right.
into who we actually
Who
are.
we
And I
actually are.
think when you just come into that discovery to know who you are and to value yourself, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Then when you value yourself, you expect more of yourself. You know
Yep,
what I mean?
yep, yep,
So if you don't value yourself, you think you deserve the misery you sitting in.
yeah,
You see what I mean? And that's what a lot of people do. They dredge it. I
right.
listen, I appreciate my job, I appreciate my coworkers and all that. But
Mhm.
my you know what I mean? I see more because it's the things I want to do. I can't do it, punching the
Right.
clock every day. You know what I mean? So I
Mm-mm.
need that.
The outlet,
mobility to do what yeah, I
the
need to be able to
movement, yeah.
maneuver and do what I gotta do. If I need to, fly
You
here,
gotta
even though I don't like
spread your
flying, but if they
wings.
do this, do that, yeah, I gotta get
Yeah,
to going. I can't be worried about no clock, you know what I'm saying?
right.
So, but that's why I do everything I can to get,
Get
to
the
get about
freedom,
that.
the free
Yeah, yeah,
time
yeah.
so that you can be as free as possible
Gotta
because
do it.
that's the key. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
To anyone's
that's
life is
yeah,
learning to balance, you know what I'm saying, and not overdo because I'm a workaholic. So, I work, but in the last 3 years, I've had time. I've had
that's
time
good.
to, detach, release, yell
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
cry,
yeah,
take
yeah,
a walk, things of that sort because back then I didn't make the time. And if I
yeah,
did make the time, it was short, you know, increments of it. Maybe a
yeah,
walk, maybe, some time to myself back then. But now it's like by myself, don't have to really take care of the kids no more like that.
right.
They're grown. So now it's like you have only one option. Look yourself in the mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think no, listen, that's a real thing though, because when I've had an empty nest for well, it's never truly empty, number one.
Yeah.
But as far as them reporting home to go to bed,
Right.
you know what I mean? Yeah, they haven't had to do that for quite some time now, but they
Right.
still report in, they still
Right.
report in. And
Right.
me and my wife were just talking about this the other day because just on a random day, it was like last Wednesday. Um, we had a long conversation with our son. We on our way home, and then our oldest daughter we talked to. Oh yeah, she called. Our youngest daughter called us, but our oldest daughter they were together, and we
Mm,
talked to both of them for a while too about just whatever, whatever. And then when
mhm.
we got off the phone, I'm sitting there like, yo, how many parents talk to all their grown children today, and their children wanted to talk to them?
Right.
And
That's
they
the key.
laughed, and they joked, and we talked about nonsense. It was just whatever.
Right.
It wasn't no
Right.
it wasn't no scolding or you ain't doing this or you need to
Right.
do that or
Right.
why you ain't never do this for me, daddy, and all
Right.
that. It was no drama. You know what I'm saying? But this is just our everyday lives go. You know what I mean? And I was like, I was like, I never want to take for granted, our family structure, like what we got going on because
Yeah.
we are always together,
Yeah.
all of us. Our children is always so
Yeah.
I'm empty nest, but that's why I said I'm not empty nest is
Right.
because my oldest daughter, she texts me all day about something. I'm like, I can't deal with whatever this is, and it's not serious, it's just whatever. But she's like trying
Right.
to get I'm like, come on, I'm busy,
I'm
I'm at
trying to
work,
get this done.
trying to get some things handled. But that's my partner too though, because she helps me out with video
Yeah.
and stuff and they've been, showing me different things. And that's the only
Good
reason why I'm
support.
even doing what I'm
Yeah.
doing
Doing
now is
what you're doing now.
because they've been showing me and stuff. I mean, they used to get
Yeah.
mad at me because I didn't know how to use Instagram. It's hilarious. Snapchat.
I don't
I didn't
even
know how to
use
use it.
Instagram, so I gotta get
Listen,
but
listen.
yeah, the kids
I,
teach you. That's a beautiful thing because it's not a lot of us in our culture that have that outlet or that option to get together with their parents and just crack up
right,
and have simple adult conversations without feeling
right.
like you're being disrespectful. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Right, right,
And
right,
just
right.
enjoying each other and watching your children actually become the adults they want to be, not
Yeah,
who we might have pictured them to be,
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a different point of view. It's a different
It is.
lens when you're
It
looking
definitely
at it
is.
and going through that. Cause that's the same thing for me and my daughters. We don't see each other often, but I will say we fly back and forth a lot to make
Right.
sure that, what I'm saying, we keep that connection. And like you said, we get on the phone and we do the FaceTime thing. Sometimes we even cook dinner on FaceTime together,
That's
just,
dope.
to spend
Yeah.
that time because we're not physically around each other like we were. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
Nah, that's
makes a
dope.
big difference. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you how how close and annoying we are. We've been, and this is what just more than them. We be on a group FaceTime calls,
Wow.
just cracking up and talking about all kind of stuff. It be, yeah, like it's just. I'm now that I'm thinking about it. It's just so common for us. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm,
not.
mhm.
But now that I'm thinking about, it, I'm like, I wonder. Yeah, we be on group Facebook. I mean, that's a Facebook on group FaceTime calls and just kicking it. If I'm talking about for like a minute, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like we be sitting there for a minute, talk about all kind of whatever, and
yeah,
we get together. It's just beautiful. I just love it. So that's why I just appreciate that so much. So you know,
yeah.
when a lot of these people that you're talking to,
Mhm,
like me, I know me being as a man,
mhm.
my family gives me so much motivation. Like if I can, I don't even know if that's even if that word is good enough. Like
Right.
purpose, I would say purpose.
Purpose, yeah.
So and because of it, and because of that,
Mhm,
I know I know my family is growing. Like they're growing older. Then we add, and we
mhm,
got grandkids and stuff. So with that being said, my purpose
mhm.
redirects my
Became different.
goals. You
Yeah,
see what I mean? So it's
yeah.
like, okay, wait, I have to get this. I need this lined up for that. Because I'm thinking of future. I'm thinking of making
Ahead.
sure that them grandbabies and all that is going to be set up right. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Right.
my,
So
and
that would be a part of your vision. Like,
yeah,
you know
that's
what I'm
part of my
saying? Like,
vision. Like, yeah,
yeah,
that's
you're
exactly it.
leveling
Just
your
making
vision and saying, "Okay, these are the priorities
right.
that I wanna
These are the,
put in place,
mm-hmm.
and let's see how this goes." You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's exactly. And then I don't worry about anything else because every day is a step towards that. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah,
think a lot of people get capped off because they limit themselves to what they think of them. But
okay.
me, I don't have any limits because I believe what God said about me.
Right.
So I don't, you know what I mean. So I'm gonna do what I need
Imma
to
do
do.
what you need to do. That's it.
Yeah, somebody told me one time. They said, "Listen, the farmer plant the seed, but God makes it grow. Don't make
Yeah,
the farmer don't make the don't turn the seed into an apple tree or
right.
you know what I mean. It don't. You didn't have nothing to do with it. All you know is
Nothing.
that if you're
Is that he
faithful enough to
planting the
put that
seed.
seed in the ground,
Right.
it's gonna turn out to be what it's supposed to be,
What it
and
yeah.
you just
You gotta
nurture the
go through
ground
the
that's around it.
process. It's a
Yeah,
process. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's the nurturing, it's the watering, it's the picking out the weeds, it's the
right,
the enough
right.
sunlight, like the enough water.
That's your
It's just a
right.
process. Yeah.
That's it. And a lot of
Yeah.
times a lot of us haven't been taught that. So that's why I'm really
Mhm.
interested in what you did here with this book,
Mhm.
Shifted by
Yeah.
Grace, because it's really like
Mhm.
how did you come up with this? Because this is a devotional. I didn't realize it was a devotional.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's a
So explain this.
devotional
How
and
do you come up with this?
journal. And it's like a reflection. So while I was in my bachelor's degree, the college that I attended and I still attend is a Christian-based college. So every lesson that we do, there's something from spirit or from the Bible that we have to use in order to, come up with our assignment, our papers, just like an eye opener on life. So I guess like through me developing spiritual discipline, which is a class that we have, and they break everything down.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yo, like one day it hit me, like, you know what? It's time for me to, I went through some healing processes, but now it's time for me to put it on paper.
Mm,
And I was like, in order for me to do that, how do I do it? How can I help? How can I tell my story to a degree to where it'll help someone say, "You know what? I've been there.
right.
I didn't handle it that way, but what can I do to change my mindset? What can I do to let go of this pain or this hurt or disappointment or embarrassment or shame or,
Right.
fear?"
Yeah.
And, you know as I developed this particular book, I learned a lot more about the growth that I had, you know what I'm saying, from before the time I wrote this book to the time while I was writing it. And then after writing it was like, yo, like you really have mentally matured, emotionally matured.
Let me ask you a question. So when you
Mhm,
say mentally matured, can you give the audience an example of where you've seen this, like in yourself, the mental maturity part?
mhm.
What's an example that you say that however it was before and now you can handle things this way?
Okay. One, I wanna say in my 30s, it was heavy. A lot was going on with me just as a woman, as a mother, and it just came to a point where I kinda, like, closed myself away from, you know, away from everyone, and which it created a space of solitude, but then also it created a lot of, like, I wanna say turmoil between me and friends or maybe even a family member because they just didn't understand why I detached.
Right.
But during that time, I wanna say that I didn't handle, I guess, conversations the way that I probably would now. I would actually not per se give people like a reason or an excuse or a closure, but at least I would be able to respond, you know what I'm saying, to them a lot better than just closing them out and just like putting up that wall to where like, okay,
Hmm.
well, she ain't even trying to be bothered with me at this time. And it wasn't that.
Yeah.
It was just that, life was happening and I was just to a point where it was like, you know what, my mental space was becoming too cloudy. It was
Yeah.
heavy. It was heavy, and I was starting to do, you know what I'm saying? I was starting to react to a lot of
Mm.
things. And what I mean by that is I'll put the kids to bed, they sleep, and now I'm grabbing a bottle of liquor and it's me
Yeah,
time.
that nice sweet quiet space between like 10 and
Yeah.
1
And it's,
AM.
yeah, and it's me time.
That's I know.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know.
It's me time. I done worked all
Mhm.
day,
Yeah.
got the kids
That's a lot of
together
parents.
and,
Yeah.
I'm done. And then when, I've also worked in the mental health industry as well. So when I was working in that industry, it takes a lot of emotion. It takes a lot
Mhm.
of mental space. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of care. It takes a lot of discipline to realize like these
Mhm.
are not your children, they're not your adults. So in the process of helping them and supporting them and dealing with their bad days and attitudes and all of that, you know, you're like,
Mhm.
hold up. So when you get home, all you want to do is have structure and bedtime and me time. Like, and I'm just going to throw them back and go to bed. And so it became that point where it was just like, yo, like, do you want to become an alcoholic? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and one of the functionable ones, because there's different
Right.
levels of it,
Right, right.
but do I want to become a functionable alcoholic or
Listen,
like not,
I understand. Yeah,
or
yeah,
not?
yeah. Nah, that's
You
real.
know what I
That's
mean?
real.
So,
Nah, that's real.
yeah. So now,
I think a lot of people are there. They just still call it partying, but a lot of people are there. I
yeah.
think it's promoted even through our media entertainment, the housewife or the mother or the working career mom, whatever, every time they come home, it's a bottle of wine, a bottle of wine, a bottle of wine, a bottle of wine. But
Mhm.
and on TV, nobody ever gets drunk. They're always drinking, but nobody ever gets drunk. And it's very
Right.
deceiving to the mind
To the
because
mindset of it.
because the mindset is they're having enjoying a glass of wine, but then you by yourself drinking a bottle of wine, you're gonna be on your butt. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, and
Right.
you ain't gonna be in your right head, but
Right.
you think it's normal because you watching them or
right.
with the filter on your TV on your 4K
Right.
TV and it's beautiful. They just chilling and relaxing, and you over here sloppy drunk. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because they're
Right.
acting. It's called
Acting.
acting. You know what I mean?
Acting.
But
Right.
but nah, that's real. That's kind of real. I
Yeah.
get that because a lot of times when you get into a routine, especially when I think all of us know that there's more to us, but
Mhm.
we don't know what it is because it hasn't been nurtured. Nobody really gave us permission to explore who we really are,
Really
you
are.
know? And I think when when you hit certain area time periods in your life, when the routine, when you're burnt out, you just want to keep going, and then you look for ways to do that. Some people,
Mhm.
you was doing it with, a glass of wine bottle, whatever, after work, after you put the kids to bed, this and that. You just want to do this, relax, read something, or watch
Right.
something, and pass out and wake up and do it all over again.
Mhm.
I think a lot more people are
Right.
in that place
Right.
literally right
Right
now,
now.
every day,
Yeah.
because it's
It's a
something, it's
struggle.
nothing bad to it. It's just
Mm-mm.
I'm tired. I want to relax. I'm
Yep.
stressed out, and
Yep.
I'm just trying to chill for a minute, and
That's
that's
it.
it. But then when that routine is
That
like that,
long-term
and now you're
effect.
getting irritable because you can't do what your routine
Yeah.
you running into some issues. You know what I'm saying?
Now you like,
You
can you
got
watch
something to
the
deal
kids?
with.
'Cause I need a moment.
Yeah, you got something to deal with. You better tighten up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's why I don't drink like that no more. I can have a
Thank you,
good time
Lord.
here and there.
I don't
You know what I
either. A
mean?
cup
But I
here and there.
don't. It don't even move me like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-mm.
because
Mm-mm.
I done seen every phase of it, and I'm just
Every
like,
phase of yourself, right?
you're right, right. And I'm just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm good.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
that I'm not pressed to do it.
I'm
And then, but you know what I noticed though? You know what I noticed about people? Because I don't drink,
yeah.
like, I can go
Mm,
out with friends and, they order some wine, whatever, and I do whatever. And I could
right.
always notice them looking like, or then I got people like, we want to go here. Y'all come after work. We do this. And it's like, dude, it's not my lifestyle. Every day,
And that's
I
the
don't, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like that. It has to be something unique, special. If I'm out and we doing something, that's maybe, yeah, cool. But nah, I'm not built
that's
like that. I'm not worried about that because I just know that people do
right.
that as a routine, as a coping mechanism for most things. Most people aren't
Mhm.
doing it because it tastes good. I actually love certain things. Like, I
Right.
love the taste of the scotch. Most people don't even like
You
scotch.
too? Maybe
Yeah.
that's in the DNA, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's that. No. Oh, we could talk. You know what? You know what
Yeah.
I sent you. We ain't gonna go on it, but we could talk about it's
Off
definitely in the
camera.
DNA, baby. It's definitely in the DNA. Like, when I see people mix drinks with fruity stuff, I be like, "Why y'all do that? Like, you ruining it."
Not the sky.
Not this. Don't play with the scotch. Like, I'm a very clean drinker. Like, if I was
Right.
to drink something, I want a
You
nice
wanna
scotch,
taste
or
you wanna taste
yeah, I'll get
yeah.
a nice dry red wine I enjoy. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, and I like my wines dry. I don't like that
You
sugary,
don't like it
all
with
that
a
crap.
little hint of sweet. No.
You can't be a grown man drinking Moscato, bro. That's
No.
crazy to me. That's so wild. You 16 drinking Boone's Farm. What you doing? Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. The Moscato, that,
Yeah.
oh. But but that's why. But like I said, but even that,
Mhm.
I don't keep any. I used to, like, back in the day, I keep bottles and stuff. I don't do none of that.
Right, you know.
I don't have
Mm-mm.
no desire to do it like that. I'm good with it because God
Exactly.
showed me that I can do a
Yeah.
lot more without that. It's
Without
like
that,
certain things steal your motivation, like bad health. You know what I
that's
mean? Like,
yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of people don't understand how health is all tied in together. So, like you
Mhm.
saying, like people with goals and stuff.
Yeah.
When I wasn't paying attention to my health,
Mhm.
I was open to everything. I hope this helps somebody.
Okay, yeah.
Let me say that one more time. When I wasn't paying attention to my health, and I'm
Right.
talking about health in all aspects, physically, mentally, spiritually. When I wasn't focused on my health and I was just in survival mode,
Yeah.
right? I couldn't, like, nothing was shaking. But when I started caring about my health,
Right.
and it started with my physical health. It started with
Mhm.
my physical health that was related to my mental health, because you don't understand how
The 2 connect.
the two connects.
Yeah.
Really, like, you don't understand how it
Yeah.
does that. So,
Mhm.
and then that mental health is gonna affect it. That's, if that ain't right, your spiritual health is off. So then when I got back into so in the course of the physical health,
Mhm.
improved the mental health, that
Mhm.
actually opened like, wait a minute.
It started
Let
opening
that
up
little
frequencies.
yeah, and let that little door, that crack open, and
Yep.
I started thinking about spiritual things,
Yep.
and then when that opened up, that
Sky's the
catapulted
limit.
the rest of the stuff. It made me
Yeah.
even more better in my physical health. It made me even better in my mental health.
Yes.
You see what I mean? So, and that's
Yes.
just what it's been. And whenever, and I
Mm.
know when my mental, spiritual, and physical
Mhm.
health is being ignored,
Yeah.
I'm not in the best place. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Yeah.
not.
You
I
can
don't
feel
have
it.
that. Like everything is a challenge. Everything is a problem. Everything is an obstacle. Everything just feels like I'm pushing uphill when it's like that. But
Right.
when I'm in sync, like man, sky's the limit, man. We do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And
on it.
that's a great point that you bring
Yeah,
up because, dealing with your mental health and your physical health, it does allow you to look at yourself differently. And when you go through the two starting to combine together, you start to feel this different wave that
you do.
occurs within your soul or your mental space per se.
You
But
really do.
sometimes it's even like a frequency. Sometimes you can feel like a vibration. Sometimes you
Talk
can
about it.
even
Oh, you
sit.
talking heavy.
Right, like,
Go ahead.
sometimes
Go
you can
ahead.
even sit, in a quiet place, and then your inner thought, which is, like, basically your intuition, will give you that answer. Like, you won't
Mhm.
need to overthink it. You won't need to, what I'm saying, try to put it in a box and, "No, this is what it
Right.
is." It will come just like that if you just stay
Yeah.
in as rhythm, because music, you're into
Yeah.
music. So
Yeah.
it's like your brain probably opened up to a point of like, yo, I hear this beat. Where this is coming from?
Mhm.
But this is
Mhm.
because why? You took the time to what? Take care of your physical,
Mhm.
take care of your mental, and it takes time. It's like
It does
layer
take time.
after layer. It's not you gonna pull this layer off and it goes
That's
away.
good.
No.
That's good, the layers. Yeah. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm
I think
saying?
yeah,
No,
that's
it,
good
it
right there.
takes time to develop, like you said before, this lifestyle. It's a
Right.
different lifestyle. It's not what you
Yeah.
used to be, it's who you are and who you are now becoming, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, whatever. The one thing
Yeah.
I learned, I think one of the biggest things I've learned, I already knew life wasn't fair, right? What I learned is that because you believe God doesn't mean that life is easy.
Yep.
But because you believe God, it's easier to get through life.
Yeah. And then it's also learning the different coping
Yeah.
mechanisms to your story. You know what I'm saying? It's the coping levels. And that's just a bottom line.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with the school,
Mhm.
they do people volunteer for like student counseling? Is that fair to
Yeah.
say? Like
They have
okay.
people like right now, the class that I'm in caters towards missionaries and pastors,
Mhm.
or people that are pretty much heavy in the Christian, life and all of that. So they get people for us to interview, if we don't
Got
really
you.
participate in that lane. Cause like I told them, I mean, I don't see myself standing in the pulpit. Like
Right.
that's something God gotta do, you know?
That listen, that yeah, yeah. You brave
Yeah,
to even want to go up there, girl. I tell
right.
you. Listen,
'Cause see
I'm gonna
me,
tell
I'm
you
like
like
a
this.
big kid
Yes.
at heart. I wanna play. I wanna, you know what I'm saying? I don't wanna,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah,
turn
yeah.
to the book of John. I don't wanna do all of that,
Well, you
you
know what
know?
though? You and so I'm gonna tell you what, honestly though, if I would say it's probably a it's this is the right time to do things different. Like let's just say, you know, you got your what do you get like
Mhm.
a ministry, a minister
Mhm.
certification?
Mhm.
So let's just say you done, you got your minister certification, and you get opportunity to be a pastor, right?
Mm.
Right? But it's fair to say you don't have to do church.
Nope.
You get what I
Don't
mean?
have to.
Like I
Don't
think
have to.
we put ourselves and we put God in this box. Like
In
I
the
was telling me
box.
and my wife was talking the other day. I was like, do people really think? I was like, listen, I said, just stop the noise for 1 second. Just stop the noise. The creator of the heaven and earth, all universe,
Right.
do they really think he created all of this vast universe and this planet and all these things so that the people could be a part of a religion? I was like,
Mm.
I was like,
Nope.
and then on the days they supposed to worship, they give them a time limit.
Exactly.
I was like, if you really just stop and just think for
Think
half a
about it.
second, these are traditions of men. This is and it's cool to
Nothing to
be
do with what God.
right. It's
Yeah.
cool to get together with like-minded folk. You know what I mean? That's what we all
Mhm.
want.
Mhm.
But for how did the experience become greater than the purpose?
Exactly.
And then
Because,
that and
like,
I think that's
when
what
I
Drewski
had
was showing, like, this is
in that
crazy.
video, because, like, even
Yeah.
when I researched and did my assignments last year, what I came to realize is, like, back in the was the AD and before Christ and all of that. Like when they got together, it wasn't a day, it wasn't a time, it wasn't a they just got together.
They just
And
got
they, you know
together.
what I'm saying? And they fellowshipped and they had their, rule making and rights and, all but they got together
Yeah.
and had that
Nah,
feast,
that's
had
real.
that moment, had that moment of prayer or whatever. Like it shouldn't be okay, you go to church on Sundays and this is how it go. Like, yeah, he
Right.
wants
Well,
everybody
even so here's something, and I'll tell you this, and this is something that just this is how I'll be like, yo, y'all playing around. So you said that like on Sunday. So remember when Yeshua and the disciples were in the field on the Sabbath day and they was
right,
plucking the thing and eating, and then the Pharisees came out and was like, y'all working on the Lord's, I mean, you working on the Sabbath.
right.
And then and then Christ was like, is it better to work
Is
or
it
to
better than work?
is it unlawful work or to
Right.
heal on the
Or to
Sabbath?
hear.
Like what? And then he
Mhm.
healed, and then they was like, we're gonna kill him because he healed on the Sabbath day.
Right. Right.
But this is how people live. This is it's so mind blowing. It's like boggling to me. Like people, I feel like people are they're so caught up in tradition
Tradition. Like we said
that
earlier in the
they don't
podcast,
they you know what I'm
tradition.
saying? Like it's
No.
so mind blowing to me. Like y'all
Yeah.
not really even thinking about what you're doing or what you're saying because guess what?
Mhm. Mm.
If you're gonna go by Sabbath day, then
Right.
that would have been Saturday anyway. And
Right.
most people don't know that when Constantine in 325 AD, when they redid everything,
Right.
his priests they were sun worshipers and they converted to Christianity by a sweep of a
Christianity.
pen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how Sunday became the
That's how
Sabbath because
Sunday
they was
became the
already
Sabbath.
worshiping on the Sunday.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because in
It's
all
just like,
reality, Sunday was the rest day. Like that was the day
yeah, like
to rest, to enjoy
chill out.
family, to chill out. Yeah.
And how important that is. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like when people don't really take the time out to kind of think of those things or like kind of
Right.
just put some reality behind what they're doing.
Behind what we're doing. Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, no, like you're missing the
Mhm.
point. So, but you're saying you say all the right stuff. It's so
Mhm.
easy to say these things, but that's why I think like like if you can't. I don't think no man can like speak for God. Like a prophet, yeah. If you give a prophet to
Right. And he
give a
speaks through
word,
that man. Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
But now we saying, but when we start getting in it, why are you telling me what God said when I got the same book? You see what I
That
mean? So
part.
now it becomes
I think it's
it becomes
somewhere in
all
there I put that.
interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all
Yeah.
becomes interpretation, and your
Right. It's your
interpretation comes from
perspective.
your perspective.
Mhm.
You see what I mean? So that's why just
Mhm.
so many, little things. So I just think like anybody who stands up and say they're a pastor and I'm like, you are brave because
Right.
you're like, do you
That's a
believe
lot to
God is
stick
real or
on.
not? Because I'm not playing with I'm already know the things
Mm,
I'd have to overcome and
the
deal with. And now you're saying you God right hand man, you speaking, nah,
but you
I'm
a
let you do that.
vessel. Like, if you
Yeah,
look at it as titles, right?
right,
So if we go off of these titles, then yes, we're gonna be like, oh, but looking and knowing some of your story, like you are anointed to give that word. Why? Because you experienced a lot of things that some people
right.
might have had a touch on or might not have never, you know what I'm saying, experienced. And you
But
know
at the end of the
what it
day,
took to get out of that
right. And that's why I was about to say. So, and at the end of the day, the only thing that I can speak on is
is
what
me
God did
for
through
me.
me.
Right. Through me, for
For me,
someone
through
else to
me,
say,
on
I
you know what
can
I mean?
do
That's the
this.
only thing I can speak on.
Yep.
I don't have the authority to speak on anything else. So
Right.
if you're speaking to a crowd of people
Mhm.
about what God
God
said,
said.
you gotta kinda I think, you know what I mean? I would think because they always make the worship service really short. You be in there jamming, the music getting good. Like, okay, yeah, we lit, drum up.
Right.
Like, yeah, yeah. Then they be like,
Right.
stop, let's stop this and listen to this guy say this and rally
Right.
his dry bones and turn your bird to Ezekiel.
No, it was that the guy, what's his name, on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, I was in the house watching what is it? New Beginning Church, some church online. And he
Yeah,
got
yeah,
up
yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
and he just went off. The pastor went off on the community, off on the internet. Oh,
That.
he just blew up. And I'm like, do we really have to be this way in order for
Oh wait, you
people?
talking about? Hold on, you talking about that Pastor Bryant dude with his wife?
Yes, with the outfit, the
Yeah,
dress,
yeah.
and all of that. Like, I mean, he lit up
Yeah.
the place, you know?
Look,
And
first of
I was
all,
just like, wow, like we as people have to like,
yo,
you gotta explain yourself? Like, you don't.
listen. All I know, all I know is that it is pure entertainment at this point, and that's just what's going on. It's pure entertainment, man. And and I'm not saying like I don't know their personal whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, if you have to understand, they have to. This is pure entertainment. Like this ain't
Yeah,
nothing
because
else.
this
You're
is
like,
how they make their money, I
yeah,
guess.
you not that ain't you not changing any you're not like that whole situation, just like all the drama and all him saying this and that, I don't feel any kind of way about it. Look, whatever you comfortable with your woman wearing, that's between y'all. To me
He
personally, but because they're under this umbrella of whatever, everybody
right.
got things to say,
Because
blah
you
blah
have to
blah.
have what?
Cool.
The titles, it's the image, it's the way you present yourself, it's all of
But you
these
know what?
things.
It's all cap though, because all those people talking about that, whatever, they probably somewhere watching what they don't need to be watching or whatever. Like, stop playing.
Stop
You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? Like, what up? Like, stop playing. But you supposed to represent this, and so do you. So
it.
represent your way. Like
Right.
that makes perfect sense. And I think one of the biggest challenges that we all face as people is we are in a time where everything is seems instant. I'm gonna say seems instant because when you see anything, you're seeing it for the first time, but you don't know the history behind it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, you
Right.
looking at somebody, let's say you're looking at somebody, oh my God, they got the perfect life. Look at they're married, they got a
Mhm.
beautiful home, they got
Mhm.
this, look at the babies, they doing this,
Mhm.
this, and this. That's what
Mhm.
you see. So
Right.
in your mind, you want that right now.
The
What you
instant
don't
gratitude.
see you don't see how many times they argue, you didn't see how many times they separated, you didn't see how many times
They
somebody
sat
stepped out on
down to
somebody,
have the discussion.
and you don't know how many hard discussions they had to get to
Right.
the point that they are together strong as a unit presenting to everybody else
To everybody else.
what they are now. So, you know what I mean? Because we expect it all immediately. We don't think about the work. You know what I mean? It's just like an
Right.
athlete, like these kids, like my grandson,
Mhm.
my oldest grandson, well, both my grandsons and it's football and everything,
Okay.
sports regardless, they wrestle, so they play soccer, like they
Mm.
into it, right? The thing is they enjoy playing it. They go to practice like they supposed to, they do everything they get. But my oldest grandson, he has them dreams. Oh, I'm gonna be in the league. I'm gonna be a wide receiver. Da, da, da. So I tell him, I ask him every day, he be like, "Yo, you work out last night?" I forgot. You forgot because he's seeing him on TV. He's seeing the spectacular catches. Like I coached this flag football team.
Right.
One year I was able to assist him with that with my man, Coach Ken. Ken, I've shot you out, baby. You bet. If I'll tell you what, I'm not even gonna tell you I shot you out. If you don't say something in the group chat that I shouted you out, I know you ain't listening. You on my list. I'm telling you right now. But yeah, but I had a chance to coach him there and stuff, and and they play and they watch the guys in the NFL and stuff, and they mimic them, like kids do. But I'm telling him, like, he had to outwork everybody to get there.
Yeah.
Nobody had to tell him to work out when he wake up or when he go before he go to bed. Nobody had to tell him to do his push-ups, do his sit-ups, to work on this, that. You have to be motivated. This is something you have to
You
be
have to do.
extra for.
Yeah.
And I tell him, I said, right now, there's a kid younger than you outworking you right now. What you gonna do? You know
Yep.
what I mean? Because that's the reality of what's happening.
Happening.
You can
Yeah.
and you can absolutely make it if you put the work in, but you gotta be
You gotta
disciplined and motivated
discipline,
for
consistent.
yourself. You know,
Yeah.
you got
And
that's what
that's
I told. I
mhm.
literally sat him here the other night. I said, discipline,
Mhm.
consistency. I said it
Mhm.
again. I said, discipline, consistency. This is what
Right.
you need.
Right.
Until you get that, you walking behind wishes. That's what Jada said. Be- you know what I'm
I
saying?
love
So
him. I love that. I love that
yeah.
rapper. Yeah.
But this one, so it's like, but so that's why I said, I think it's incredible that you actually wrote something like this, and
Mhm.
I was really like, cause it just arrived for me today. I didn't get a chance to really get
To
into it,
really get into it yet. Okay.
right? But what the first thing that I noticed that I liked,
Mhm.
you give instructions on how
Yes.
to read the book,
Right.
how to journal. And I'm
Yes.
sitting there like, yo, I was like, oh, she's so considerate. Like that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, yo, that's dope. Because a lot of times you get stuff like for somebody who's like never
Right.
picked up a book for their
Just
personal use. You know what I
personal
mean?
use. Yeah.
Right. So I think that's
Mhm.
very helpful to open a book like this and kind of
Right.
be guided into how to use it.
Into how to use
And
it.
I
Yeah.
yeah, and I thought that was very it's not a heavy read. Hopefully I can
Mm-mm.
have it done
No.
with my time. I'm gonna jump into it this weekend fully,
Mhm.
and I should have it done by, Wednesday, I
Yeah.
think. Oh well, no, actually, I'm gonna read it through, but then I'm
Right.
gonna use it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read
Yeah.
it first. I'm
Read
just
it for
read it through, and then I'm
right.
gonna go through
And then
and
go
I'm gonna
through
do
and read it because there's
yeah,
questions that, will have you think. Some is like you can probably answer it right away. And then some questions you just really have to think yourself through it. Yeah.
right.
Shifted by
So yeah,
grace.
that's right.
Yeah.
This is on Amazon.
Yep.
Okay. Well, is that the main distributor for it?
Yes.
Does it feel weird that I'm holding your book like this?
Yeah.
It does. Good.
First time for
Good. That
everything. I'm so
yeah, that's
excited to
nah,
be
nah.
on
Let me
your
tell you something.
podcast. Oh my
Hey,
God. Yes.
listen. Let me tell you how I see this. Right? How dope this really is. All jokes aside, right? Because me and you, 223 William Street, we spent a lot of days there between my pops and your pops, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all the craziness of them two
Yes.
two brothers, right?
Yes.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought
Huh?
in 2026,
Right.
me and you would be sitting here on a podcast and I'm holding up a book that
Right.
you wrote that
I
is
know.
hello?
And I'm on
You
your
heard? You
podcast that
heard?
you made.
You heard? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You heard? Okay.
I'll sit
You
back
see
and
that?
be
You see
like,
that?
I did
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's how you just never
Mhm.
know
Where
what
your
God really
life
has
is gonna take you.
in store for you. You
Mhm.
just don't know. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this because I want to ask you this, and I gotta hurry up too because.
Yes.
But you said you got a journey of release,
Mhm.
renewal, and becoming.
Right.
So, in a quick synopsis,
Mhm.
could you just give a example of how a person is to release first to start the journey, and then how does the renewal and becoming come into place when you do that?
Okay, the quickest I can bring it to you is for yourself, for anyone, having the courage to face yourself and, you know, and going through that process of knowing that we change. We change all the time. We're not gonna stay the same person, the same individual, the same soul. Everything changes. So that's
Right,
one. Then I would say staying consistent, staying committed to the task, to know that, yes, you're going to have your good days, your bad days, all of that. But at the same time, you know your
right,
why you want to develop, why you want to become a better you. Discipline, like we talked about in this podcast. Discipline is very important. Yes. I mean, yeah, we might fall short through the journey, through the
right,
wilderness. We might fall short, but don't beat yourself up about it.
right,
Pick yourself back up, see where wrong, or you might be able to correct, you know, and keep
right,
moving. Practice. Like you said, practice patience, practice
right.
trusting the process, and then self um awareness and self compassion. Because sometimes, when we're sitting by ourselves, we're so hard on ourselves. We're our worst critics sometimes as
I'm definitely
individuals.
my worst critic, and I like that
Right,
term self-compassion. I've never heard that before in my life. That is a new
right.
term for me, self-compassion.
Right.
Okay, okay.
So you have that,
Yeah,
you have that for yourself. And then
yeah,
just know, like, spiritually be obedient. Like, we all know that we're connected by the universe, by God, by something. So however spirit has gifted you this gift of anointings in any shape, form, or fashion, be obedient and just listen, just try it. Cause like we already lived the life behind us. So like why not try
right.
something new, something different? So that's my little clip
No,
of
no,
like
I like it.
releasing, renewing, and then becoming, who God intended you to really be and the
Right.
purpose of why you're here. Cause everybody has a purpose on why we're here.
Nah,
So
that's
yeah.
good. I like that. I definitely
Yeah.
like that because, and first of all, and I just want to tell you this, Michelle.
Mhm.
I am very. First of all, I'm just thrilled to be able to do this episode with you. Number one,
Me too.
I really am, and I think it's so dope that the first book that you wrote, the
Mhm.
first product of your entrepreneur journey, well, not really, no, because I mean, you have the
Yeah.
other trucking and everything else,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is but with this that you created,
Yeah.
that you created it with the purpose to help the community,
To help,
to help
yeah.
people. That's dope, it's sorta like it created God's fault because
Mhm.
the only reason I'm here is because of God. So if you're not vibing with anything I got going on, you take your complaints to the men upstairs.
That's
I'm
it.
sure he got some filing system, but,
Yeah.
he see fit that I'm in the position that I'm in. So, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Imma stay
Mhm.
dope doing with dope things because
Right.
that's what God allows me to do, and that's
Right.
what it is,
Right.
and I'm very thankful and I'm humbled because I don't take
Right.
anything lightly, and and I coulda did a podcast about so many other different topics and stuff, and I love talking about all
Mhm.
kind of different things because the main
Yeah.
focus of what I got going on, and you
Yeah.
fit the criteria of God's fault, is
Thank you.
because I love talking to people who've
Yeah.
had to overcome to
Mhm.
be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who had to
Right.
overcome to be
Right.
who they are, because
Right.
it didn't come easy. That means you wanted it,
Mm.
you worked
Mhm.
for it, you did the
Mhm.
work, which wasn't
Mhm.
easy. That means
Mm-mm.
you know how to, you have a strength that most people don't have,
Mm.
because you faced yourself and you overcame yourself to be successful in what you're doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's a dope thing. You know what
Thank
I
you,
mean? Like,
cuz
people,
yeah.
nah, seriously, man, that's dope. So I definitely salute you for that. And I think that I can't wait to see the next, what you got next, coming up,
Coming up.
And
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna get into I'm gonna get into this I'm gonna get into this
Mhm.
book, and I'm gonna use it.
Right.
I'm probably gonna order some more because
Okay.
I want to get it to my girls
Okay.
so
Yes.
they can do their
Yeah.
work. You know what I
Well, I
mean? Because
do have
they.
a I guess an edition that's coming out, another one which digs a lot more into the root of things. So
Nice.
I think that one will also kind of like part one, part two, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I
and
like
it
it.
will help you because with that one it's more dealing with like shadow work
Yeah.
and
I like
learning
it.
like breathing techniques through like anxiety or depression, you know.
Yeah.
So it goes a little bit
Yeah.
more deeper.
Right. I'm gonna tell you like this too, because me dealing, like, overcoming depression and all that stuff. One thing that I've learned, and this works for me. Take it with a grain of salt.
Mhm.
Whatever you focus on, you give power to. So if you're focusing on something negative,
Mhm.
it's gonna grow, and
Yeah.
it's gonna until it has a life of its own,
Mhm. I
and then
agree.
you're gonna feel suffocated and overwhelmed,
Mhm.
depression.
Yes.
I overcame that by being thankful. I
Yeah.
promise you. I
You had to
promise you that.
reverse the yep.
Yeah, that at the end of the day, that's all it took. I stopped thinking about what I didn't have, what you know what I mean, or what
Where you were
happened,
at the
or where I was
time.
at. Yeah, that I stopped took
Mhm.
my focus off of all that, and I started
Yep.
appreciating simple little things like my baby bought me this. You see that cup?
Aw.
Hold on. You see that? What it wait,
Yes. The most
now
valuable.
yeah,
Yeah.
it seems sweet, right? You see, so I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give you an example in social media. This is
Okay.
how social media works. This seems
Okay.
so sweet, right? Yeah. The
Right.
only reason this child bought me this cup because she broke my favorite mug, and then she bought me this one to replace it. I was so pissed off because I got that cup from Disney. It was the Grumpy cup, and I couldn't get another one. I had that cup for like so many. Yeah, she broke my cup, but guess what? I love this cup because she thought enough. She was like, my
She
daddy. And
thought
look, I think
enough to
wait,
say,
wait,
"Let
and
me."
then hold on. She look at the culprit. You see that little chip right there?
Yeah.
She responsible for that too. I don't know what's wrong with her and my cup. My cup, she be knocking them over. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
You got cup fetishes, I got cup fetishes
That one,
too.
yeah, I like a good mug. Wait till the
Yeah.
Godsfault mug come. I'm gonna send you
Right.
one.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the Godsfault mug. We're gonna rep it.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're gonna rep that thing, man. But
Yep.
listen, Michelle, it has
Thank
been a
you.
pleasure.
It has.
It
It
really
has.
has.
Yeah.
And you said they can find the Shifted by Grace,
Yep.
and this
Yep,
is gonna
on
be
Amazon.
now. Is it on? It's in Kindle format too, right? You
Yes,
can
you can
download it.
also get it downloaded on Kindle, and you can
What's up with
also
the
get a
audiobook?
paperback. I'm working on it. It's something I
Okay.
was thinking about.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
gotta
mean, look,
ask you. You know
no,
about the
no, no.
audios.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, we can figure something out, but you got to get on there. You got to be talking to her. You got to. They got to hear your voice. Wait, let me get a passage here. Hold on. Can I see? I'm too blind to even see right now. Wait, wait. Let me see. Guiding you even in the seasons. That my voice ain't good, man. You gotta do
No,
you
but I
got
would
you
have
you
to do
gotta
that.
nah, yeah, yeah. Nah, that'd be dope though.
Well,
That'd be
that's
dope.
good.
Yeah, that's definitely another outlet because a lot of people
Yeah.
use audiobooks. They listen to
Okay.
them on the way to work,
Thank you,
you know what I
Ken.
mean? Or when they're cleaning
Yeah.
up, when they're working out. Those
Yeah.
audiobooks is the move.
It's
They
a
they
move.
definitely the move. It definitely the
Okay.
move. And that's like literally when I be listening to, like, when I go to bed, I always throw on like a podcast or something,
Mhm. Mhm.
storytelling or whatever, and I just go to
Right.
sleep to that. I might just listen to them
Right.
tell stories, audio books, all that stuff. Matter of fact,
Right.
I got a dope audio book. I don't know if you ever heard. I was interviewing my fam, Rev Sean Walker, and
Right.
I was telling him about the power of now. There's a book called The Power of Now.
Okay.
I can't read, but hold on. I'm gonna send
I'm writing
you.
it down.
I think I have the audio book copy of it too. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
It's very deep.
Mhm.
It's this book. It
Mhm.
discusses the ego and letting it go, how to let go
Right.
of your ego, and then
Mhm.
it just kind of it's like you gotta. I mean, I know you read and stuff, so you don't
Right.
just get persuaded. Like I
Ugh.
like to tell people don't understand. Like even when you read something,
Right.
you have to understand what you're reading and where it's coming
Where
from.
it's coming
Just
from.
because, yeah, don't let it just alter everything. You know what I mean? If it don't
Right.
resonate, like
If it don't
so it's stuff.
resonate, don't let it, as they say, if it don't
Yeah,
apply, let it fly.
let it fly. But don't you get what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's how I
Right.
kind of prep people for this book. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm. Mhm.
he does have some philosophies. It's kind of like whatever, but the overall tone of the book and the message is it's a solid read. It definitely is. The Power Now.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get that to
Okay.
you. I think I have the audiobook version. I definitely have the Kindle version, but I'm gonna send you the audio. I'm gonna send whatever I have to you or share it with
Okay.
you so you
That'll
can
work.
get into that. But look,
Yeah.
Michelle,
Thank
it
you.
has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. And listen, good
Yes.
folk,
Yes.
tap into Amazon.
Yes.
Shifted by Grace. One more again. We're gonna hit them
I'm
with this.
okay.
Shifted by
And my
Grace
daughter
by
made that
Michelle
cover.
Oliver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
look, I was mad because I went in there and I was like this, and I wanted to see the black and white picture. You know how the authors do with the black and white picture on the back. First I looked on, I was like, dag, Michelle, I want you to stamp that thing, girl.
No.
I'm teasing, I'm teasing, I'm teasing. Next book, next book. I want you, I want you with the scarf around with your hand like this. I mean, yeah, I wanted the black and white picture like this with the scarf around. Author, entrepreneur, Michelle Oliver, stop playing with her. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, man. So thank everybody for tuning in to
Yes,
this
thank
episode of
you.
God's Fault, Shifted by Grace with Michelle Oliver. Thank you guys so
Yeah.
much. And
Yep.
stay tuned because we got a lot more planned for you and a lot more to come. Appreciate you.